Hello, everybody here, and November 2nd here, trading within the box. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. First of all, if you'd like to buy, purchase, or sell any stocks, bonds, equities, or futures, or Forex, please contact a licensed professional or the brokerage house of your choice. This is an educational video only. We're going over charts and patterns and learning how to trade here, okay? So let's go over it right here. First, we're going to start with Tesla, because on Tesla, we were going over it the other day, okay? And what did I say? I'm going to play a little part of my my last. I told you we were going to get a little. This is now the weekly chart on Tesla, okay? Let's go over the daily chart, okay? What did I say when we came down to this area right here onto support? What did I say? We're going to be in this area, and we're going to get a bounce, okay? So I'm going to play a little part of my video from I think it was the 29th of September here, of October, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about when I was talking about the bounce.
How far down have we gone already? Okay, so we're getting a little oversold here, and we're far away from the moving average. Look at the 20-day moving average as I draw the imaginary line. So we're at a support area right there, so we could get a little bounce, and then we continue down. We could hold, get the retest W, and then start heading up. That could be weeks and weeks away. So that's something that we want to keep watching. Let's go over the 2-hour chart on Tesla and see what's happening on the lower time frames. Lower time frames are going to decide which way we have the intraday trades, okay? So let's see, we had some covering right here. So we get a little bit of a signal of covering, and right here we have basing. We're basing at support, okay, for a bounce, for a possible bounce. We have a little bit of covering here, okay? So that's something that we're going to have to watch, okay?
Okay, so that was a piece of my video. I just put the recorded part about it on Tesla, that we were going to get a bounce, and sure enough, what did we get? We got a bounce, okay, on Tesla. Okay, so that's something that, now be careful here, because now we're in resistance. We're right in here in the spot where they sell, okay? So let's watch. We have buying, but we're not convinced. Why are we not convinced on Tesla? Okay, so now look at Tesla on a daily chart. So we get these little dojis right here. So we don't get the big engulfing candlesticks like we have here and here and here. You see them? Okay, so we have these little dojis, and then here we'll see what happens. Hey, we have pressure right there at the 20-day moving average. So we're gonna probably hit this area, and then we're gonna come back. Now the support level is at 210.19. Right now it's 216.50. Okay, so if we come, here's the support level. We come up, let's say we tag, or we go up a little above, and we come back and we hold with lighter volume. Let's say we're up in this area here. Now we start to come back, and our volume looks in this range. Okay, we'll look at the volume. Okay, we're pointing up, okay, for a bounce. This is a trade only until we start getting trend change. If we come back and then we get the engulfing candlestick, something that looks about like that or like that, then you know we're off to 248.50. So this is a game where we keep watching, okay? That's why anybody that tells you that they got the crystal ball, that they know, oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So what's going to happen here is we're going to come down, we're going to come this way, and then we're just going to start heading up. Then we're going to fail right in this area. Okay, we don't know that, because right now we don't have a retest W. We have the V formation. We have the V, okay? And we don't have any kind of retesting and then confirmation. Okay, so that's why we watch it every day. Okay, American Express, let's go over a few new stocks here. Okay, American Express, and let's get back to that. Okay, American Express, we pop over the resistance area, and okay, we're heading up a little bit right now. Okay, so we had what? The retest W. Come back. We came back now. Now, watch the volume. Let me show you something about volume. Okay, now watch the volume. As you came down here, okay, you came down to this area with 8.26 million shares and 5.3 in this spot. You came back with 3.3 and 3.4. That's a rejection of price at the support area. Now, if it's your stock and you're watching closely, what are you watching for a trade here, okay? Remember my channel, what it's all about, trading within the box. You're getting a piece of cheese in the trade, okay? That's why it's called trading within the box, okay? Here's your box. Here's your resistance area right here, okay? Here's your support area right there, okay? So you come back, you get a retest W, okay? Let me show you on the line chart, okay? Line chart, there's your W formation. That's a retest W. It's a sloppy one, but it's there. Come back to support. We have a little increasing volume, but we have volume decreasing. So what do we have here? We have a divergence in volume. So we have to be really careful as we look at the volume as we go into what? This capitulation sell-off right here. That's a capitulation candlestick at resistance for the it's not a sell-off, it's a pullback, okay? But we're going into that range, okay? What are we going into that range with? What kind of volume do we go into American Express with over here? How do we know we're not still in a downtrend, okay? Now let's pull the chart back, okay? We know we started off right here. That was the spot, okay? We have 1 peak, we have 2 peak, we have 3 peak, and now we have 4 peaks. Now, I always say we could get a nice trend change on the 4th peak, okay? Not always, but it's a good indication of a reversal, okay? So now when we came up here, this is on October 5th and 6th, let's just say in that area. Where was our volume at as we were going up? We were at 3.25 million shares, 2.2, let's say 2.9. Now we're going up with what? 3.7. Okay, so we get a little bit of a bounce, but we could be dying on the vine. When we came back down on October 19th with 4.64 million shares. And yesterday we had Doji, and we had garbage volume at 2.3. Now let's see today what's going to happen, okay? We have 816,000 shares right now at 11:31 a.m., here on Thursday, November 2nd. We're going into this area. We're going into the gap down with lighter volume, okay? Now, we could creep up to the 154.42. Right now, it's 149.43. We can creep up to that area. Very possible, okay? Okay, so we could inch, and then fail. So we can get this little doji here, and then we get another one, then we get another one here, and now we get up to 154.42, and then we pull back. Now, the pullback that's resistance, okay? The pullback is going to determine if we stop at the moving average, okay? The moving average is lagging, okay? It's a lagging indicator. We're pointing up on the stochastic in the sweet spot. This from year to year is the sweet spot, okay? Now, if we come back with lighter volume and we hold the gap area right there, boom, we retest 154.42. If we come into that area with strong volume, we take it out, and then we go to 159.46. And then after that, we go to 162.80. So let's see if we're getting a trend change here on American Express. So that's what we're going to be watching, okay? On the weekly chart, we're still short, okay? We're still short because we still have a lot. Now, on the weekly chart, look at the support area right there. Bingo. And what happened? We had the engulfing, okay? So far, we haven't finished this week off yet. But if we continue to get the buying, we get the engulfing, and then we can head up to that 155 range, okay? Now, we have to be careful because we have the pressure of the heaviness of the weekly chart 20-day moving average, okay? We can come up here, but that's why we want to see when we get the retest, are we going to start getting a trend change? These are weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So that's what we want to know. Are we going to start getting the trend changed, okay? Let's go over to Apple. First, we're going to start with the weekly chart on Apple. And now on Apple, now this is what the banks and the big dogs look at. Weekly chart right up here. We're at major support level. There's a major buy area right here at 166.62. Major buy area. Okay, when you have support on a weekly chart at that level. Okay, so what happens is you came down for 2 weeks and now you have another engulfing. Now, do you get this and you come up and then we come back down and retest? Okay, probably because the volume on the sell side is pretty solid. Okay, nobody has the crystal ball to tell you exactly what's going to happen. This market changes with the wind. Okay, we're in a trader's paradise market here. Okay, always remember what we're in order to execute. Okay, so now we have earnings. Okay, we have earnings today. Okay, on Apple, so we have to see what they're going to do after. Okay, now as you look at Apple and you came up. Now look at the small little W you had right here. You had a little one right there, a little retest. Those are pretty strong for a trade. Okay, so we're heading up right now, hopefully to 180.18. Right now we're 176.93. Okay, and that's at 11:35 a.m. here today. Now, right now, okay, yesterday's volume was at 56.935 million shares. Okay, so we're going into these areas with 59 million coming down, and then we came into this area at 62, but we passed it. Okay, so we passed it. So how do we know we're going to get to 180.18? Let's go over to the 45-minute chart. Okay, and the 45-minute chart was pretty solid as it came down to the resistance area. Now, when you look at the little gaps are the aftermarket, overnight trading, and morning trading. Okay, there's no volume there. Okay, so excuse me. Now, what you do is you're coming down to the support area, and yeah, look at they're coming in. Okay, they're coming in a little, but they're not because we're in a little bit of resistance. Coming in a little bit here, and then boom, we get the follow through volume. Okay, why? Why do we get follow-through volume there? Because it's sideways consolidation, okay? And when you break those long sideways consolidations, you go up fast when you get this kind of commitment, okay? You take a ruler, measure this, that's how high you're usually going. Now, on a 45-minute chart, you smack right into resistance where they're going to take the profits, okay? And you can see right there already they're taking the profits on Apple, okay? Let's go over the 2-hour chart because we want to know where we are, okay? Always know where you are, okay? Now, the shaded areas here are the aftermarket and the pre-market, okay? What were they doing in the aftermarket and the pre-market on Apple overnight and in the morning? They were buying. Look how the candlesticks are closing higher, 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 and higher. They were buying. Now, 176.64... that right there, that's the resistance line right there, okay? So most likely, now you're far away from the moving average, okay? Most likely they're gonna take profits in this spot right here. You're already there, okay? You're already in the resistance area, okay? Now you want to see if it's going to hold the 9-day. You're going to hold the 9-day. If it holds the 9-day like this, sideways, and then boom, we get one of these engulfing candlesticks. Boom, we're off to the races to 181.27, okay? And that's how you manage it intraday. That's how you manage it so you don't lose money, but you remember the 180.18 area, okay? Remember that there's a lot of selling pressure in that spot, right, with that candlestick right there as it sold off, as you can see. So you're trading within the box right there, okay? Your starting point was around here, okay? And then your ending point is going to be there, okay, for now, because this is a trader's market, okay? Home Depot, let's go over to Home Depot really quick. Now on Home Depot, you pop above the resistance area, okay? Let's see what they do if this could be a breakout and then a failure. Now, if it's a breakout failure, they really pound those to the downside because they know there's no hope for going higher. Or let's see what's going to happen with Home Depot. Remember what I said weeks and weeks ago about Home Depot. As you get these big, huge sell-offs with no covering, you had no covering here at support, you had a small amount of covering here with no volume, and then you had a little pop, little fake out, then you draw the line for trading within the box, and then boom, there's the short again. Now the short comes down to the support level, and when you have a long period of time of selling down, Where was that, and what date was that? That was from September 14th until, let's say, October 30th. You are going to get a stronger bounce because all the shorts, all the people that are short, all the institutions, they now see that there's a little buying coming in, so they have to switch their positions from this area into a long position, okay? So right there, then and there, what are you doing, okay? Now you're looking at the small time frames, okay? You can even go to a 15-minute chart, okay? Go to a 15-minute chart if you want to bisect and dissect this. What happened to Home Depot overnight, okay? What happened overnight to Home Depot? What were they doing, okay? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. They were buying this, okay, overnight, okay, right here. Now, when you go, you're smack into resistance where the profit taking, if you were trading this, excuse me, if you were trading this right at the support line, right in this area, okay, where is trading within the box, okay, right here, go back to it, right in this area, okay, this is your piece of cheese, okay, this is trading within the box, support to resistance. So if I'm in this trade, it's not my stock, but if I'm in this trade around here somewhere, I know that from between 283 or 284, 285, that at 293, I'm taking my profit off the table, okay? I'm taking my profit off the table. And is that a great trade? Sure it is. For what, 1 day, 2 days, okay? It's an incredible trade for 2 days, okay? So now, here's the thing with Home Depot now, okay? Look where we came down. We got the covering, okay? We came back. We held at support. We got the engulfing. We made it off to the races to the new spot at 293.64. Now, we're way far away from the moving average. This is going to pull back, okay? This is going to either pull back this way or it's going to hold and then go back up. Now, let's see if we're getting a trend on the weekly chart here, a trend change on the weekly chart. Now, not yet because you have to get the retest. So you might get up to the 9-day moving average on the weekly chart, come up and then back, and then boom. And then you know you're going to have a change in trend on Home Depot, okay? Now, on Home Depot, 2-hour chart, just keep watching this because this is how you manage a trade, okay? Know where your resistance areas are right up here in this area at 292.62 if this thing keeps going, okay? So now you have right here, slam right into resistance, take the bread off the table, come back, okay? Come back, wait for the volume to start kicking in, and then boom. And then if it passes that area, everybody that's short right in that spot has to go, what? Long, okay? So that's what we're teaching here on Home Depot, okay? Okay, let's see if that thing... Now, we closed higher every day, okay, here. So, we closed 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So, sometimes you'll get like these little profit takings. You know, they don't go straight up. But sometimes they do, and they keep running. And that's when you trade on the lower time frames. Let's go over to Coca-Cola. KO is the symbol on Coca-Cola. And what happened here? We had the retest W right here, okay? Right there at support level, okay? Right there. And where's that support level? At 52.89, okay? On 52.89, okay, let's go back to the candlesticks really fast. And what do we have here? Okay, so we came back to support. We had engulfing. So they weren't selling off here. They were pulling back to support here at this, let's say this 55.35. Right now it's 56.98, okay? So let's go over to the 45-minute chart and check the volume. Let's see if they're really buying this. Are they really buying this stock, or is this just kind of one of those little creep ups and then they're going to pull back, okay? So the volume is not that great yet, okay? Volume is average, okay? You see it right there, okay? So now what happens is on Coca-Cola on a 45-minute chart, you come up Now you're above the moving average and you're above the support level here. So you can make a run here to 57.88. Okay, then the profit should be taken. Okay, you have to follow it. Go to a small time. Go to a 10-minute chart. Follow it on a 10-minute chart if you want to dissect this thing. Okay. Now you're at a support level here. You have some buying a little bit coming in here. Okay, on Coca-Cola. So let's see if we get into this 57.15 area, and then if it breaks, we go up to the 57.41 area. Okay, so that's how we manage it. Okay, how do we manage it here? Let's say this morning. Okay, we have the little game playing right as the market opens, and then what happens? Boom, capitulation candlestick right there. Okay, that's a buy signal. Okay, this is on a 10-minute chart. Okay. Boom, we get an engulfing. That's another buy signal, okay? It's not selling off. It's pretty solid. So what happens? At support, you get the capitulation, okay? So now you get a sideways movement here. Do you get a little pullback, or do we start, boom, we start going up, and then we get a little more solidness, and we start following it up, okay? And that's basically the way it goes, okay? So we got, as we're going up, 1 peak, 2 peak, 3 peak, and we're heading up into the 4th peak, okay? And then we have tons of selling right up here at the $58 price range, okay, on Coca-Cola. Now let's go to McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's, you come off. Now here, let's look at the weekly chart here, because let's see if we're getting a trend change. Not yet on a weekly chart, okay? We came off, but we look at the volume, though, on McDonald's. Now, McDonald's has outstanding volume, okay, coming up here. On a weekly chart, let's look at McDonald's. Perfect W formation on McDonald's. With a higher right side of the W right there, boom. Now, remember, you have overhead pressure right here, so you probably tag it, come back. This moving average, if it holds there, then we have a perfect trade and it gets above, and then the shorts on the weekly chart have to cover, okay? So let's go over to daily now. Now that we know that that's looking pretty solid, let's go to daily. Now we have higher lows. Now look at the daily. We had a little bit of a weak W right off a support level. Okay, we get a profit taking right there, and we hold support with another W formation right there. Okay, we have an indecision spindle candlestick right there. Okay, we don't know if we're going to sell. We hold. We pop back up, and then boom, we got the engulfing. Now at 268.66 right now, it's 266.92. 260. Right. So 2 more points here. Right. We have resistance right here, so we have to be very careful. That spot right there has some sellers in it, okay? So right in that spot, we have to be very careful. Look at the volume as we come up, though, on the earnings. We had some beautiful volume on the earnings coming up, okay? And if you look at the bigger picture, like we looked at the weekly chart, we have a beautiful W here on the way up, okay? So let's go over to weekly chart. Let's check the stochastic, and we're in the sweet spot, okay? We're in the sweet spot right here, okay? And then where is the resistance level on the weekly chart? 271.96. Right now, 266.92. Let's go over the 2-hour chart, because we're going to manage this one, okay? This looks nice, okay? So, boom, we get what? We get the sideways consolidation right here, okay? Get a sideways. Now over here, we don't know what we're doing, and it's frustrating, okay? You could just keep buying it off at a support level, okay? But we know every time it goes into this spot, they kept selling. So then we see that in the pre-market, what did they do? Boom! They sold it. I mean, they bought it right there with that huge velocity candlestick. You get a velocity candlestick, you're gonna get a rest after it, okay? You get a velocity candlestick, okay, with average volume so far, okay? Average volume, okay? So as you're going into these areas, let's go to 45-minute chart, and as you're going into these areas, you already had the trade in the pre-market, okay? The trade in the pre-market was to the upside, okay? They were buying this, and it's unfair to everybody else that was down here that didn't get in. Boom, they gapped it up, okay, today. Okay, that's okay, though, okay? We want to see if it's going to we're going to get another W formation out of this, okay? Right now, you have to be careful because right now you do have support for buying in the 265.85. You have support around 265.16, and then you have support at 263.75. Okay, so let's see what this thing's going to do. If you say, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, I go to a 10-minute chart. Let's say go to a 10-minute chart and look at today's beauty right there. There's an incredible day trade here today, okay? Right off support, and we got the engulfing, and then we take it off right there, okay? It's not a lot of, but it's a point or and a half or whatever. But that's a good way. A lot of guys that have 1,000 or 2,000 shares on this thing, they just made a few thousand today, let's say on a day trade, okay? So now we're going into resistance, and we're getting into the lunchtime area, so we get the divergence in volume right there, and then we were at the support level, the resistance level right here, okay? And okay, so let's get off of that because we really have to get this thing moving here. Verizon, let's go over to Verizon. Sorry about that. Verizon now, look at Verizon, and I said this a while back. I said when Verizon starts getting the move, it's going to get a nice move because why? We had such a monster sell-off on Verizon. Look at this monster coming down, okay? If you look at Verizon and you look, let's say, in this area, at 1, we had 2 peaks, 3, we had 4, 5 peaks. 5 peaks, okay, is an exhaustion of selling. Okay, it's an exhaustion of selling. Okay, so now all those monsters that shorted, they got to cover. Okay, and then right here, you get the little cluster, and we wait. We have the cluster, and then boom, the breakout. Everybody that's short right in this spot right here has to turn around and go long. Okay, you have 35.74 right now on Verizon. Okay, doesn't mean to jump in. Be careful. You got overhead pressure right here. You want to come back to support, and then it's a safe zone to buy. Okay, and then you have to manage on the lower time frames. Let's look at the U.S. dollar, and U.S. dollar. Okay, the other day made another new high. Okay. Let's go over to the GLD, which is go to the GDX. Go to the GDX here, and we're getting a higher low so far here, but we have to be careful here on GDX here because we can come all the way back down to the support level again or the gap area. So this is something we have the M formation with the little short right here. So let's be careful here on GDX. Let's go over to the 45-minute chart on GDX and let's see. And right now, there's no buyers here, okay? There's no buyers here, okay? There's no buyers here, and there were no buyers here, okay? And there were no buyers here, and that was just a covering right there, okay? So that's something that you have to be careful of, when you're looking at things, okay? Let's look at let's really quick because I only have a few more minutes here to go. S&P 500 straight ups. Usually what happens to straight ups? Straight ups, they come back. Now if they come back and hold right here at support, and then we get a change in trend possibly for a little while, possibly November and half of December. So that's something that you don't want to be chasing. This do not chase the S&P 500 at this moment, okay? Because we don't know exactly what they're going to do, okay? We're just going to keep watching, okay? Duke Energy now, remember, we kept closing higher every day here. We had earnings and we had good volume the day before the earnings, and today we got the earnings here, okay? So we come up and we blast through with higher volume from this swing point from October 11th, okay? So let's see on Duke Energy for a trade, remember, this is a trader's market. Look at the buyers on the 2-hour chart here, okay? Look at the buyers, okay? It was solid. Look how solid that is, okay? The sellers are down here, okay? They're nowhere to be found, okay, from this point to this point so far, okay? So that's something that you have to look at, keep looking at it and watching it and manage it. And this is a solid run. Now, when you go to the 45-minute chart for a trade only, remember, a trade only, okay, this is a bull run on a 45-minute chart. That's solid. You come back engulfing, come back engulfing, come back engulfing. Boom. You see what I mean? Right there. Okay, let's go over the weekly chart, and I have to wrap this up. Weekly chart, you're going to have pressure right there, right now, at $90. Okay, you have pressure right there, so you have to watch to see if you're going to continue. Now, on Duke Energy, you have a little bit of a crossover but you could go a little sideways here, okay? And go a little sideways there on Duke Energy. Goldman Sachs, that's something that they shorted the crap out of. And then what? They have to cover it, okay? They have to cover it at one point to make the money. Got to buy it back. 1, 2, 3 peaks. Okay, we get a buy signal right there. Boom, we're in resistance. Take the profit, okay, because we got crap volume today. We come back, and then we get the engulfing, go to 321.67. We'll watch it, and we'll keep watching it, okay? I have to wrap this up. So right there, look at the volume, the nice volume coming in on the 45-minute chart, okay? Look at the buyers, okay? And we just keep closing, and we're pretty solid right here. Now we're in resistance on Goldman, okay? Goldman, we're in resistance, okay? So right up in this area, we want to get a little bit of sideways or pullback, and then boom, we can head up to 318.11, okay? With that said, I wanted to go over some more stuff. I don't have much more time here. But with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel if you can. Hope this helps, and have a wonderful day.